Hi, guys. We are live. And let me just double check our platform, make sure we are coming in okay. But wherever you're joining us from, make sure you put your name and where you're coming from on the comment section so that we can see it. Let me just briefly check out and see if we are streaming properly. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, there we are. We are streaming well. So again, thank you guys for joining us. It is another Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. and it's Cuppa with Michelle. So welcome to Cuppa with Michelle. I am your host, Michelle Jones, and I'm a health, wellness, and longevity coach who helps business people, especially women like myself, create a successful online business in balance and in a state of flow. Too many people are suffering in their health, unable to balance family and work, and struggling to create the financial freedom they have been dreaming of. I am here to help those who are ready to take action to integrate their passions, talents, and lifestyle into an automated business that can bring them passive income in their dreams or that they've been dreaming for, and all these with ease and flow. A lot of us have already learned the difficulties that an unplanned disaster or pandemic can bring about. So, creating a life of ease and flow with automation, with passive income, with residual income actually has helped a lot of people who have prepped themselves before the whole pandemic had hit us. So, today we're going to be talking about residual income, what it is, why it's important, and is it possible for everyone or anyone to create residual income? So, to help me in this discussion with you, I have invited a global business owner whose passion is in cartooning, in caricaturing. And once he has created a life of residual income, he has not looked back, and he will be sharing that with us today. But just before we invite him over, let me just explain what residual income is all about. Residual income is a form of income, but it continues to come in to your bank account after you have done the work necessary to earn it. So let me say that again. It is an income that continues to come into your bank account that you continuously benefit from even after you have done the work necessary to earn it. Because oftentimes we rely on our jobs, our salary, our income from specific projects, or a specific work to come into our account. And from that, we have created the income that we always get. So if we have a 9 to 5 job, at the end of the month, we get paid for that 9 to 5 job. Or if we are doing things per project, at the end of that project, we get paid for that. So we're basically paid by the hour that we've spent or by the time that we've spent. A residual income, on the other hand, is a piece of work, post, project that you create and continuously provides you income, not just once, not just twice, but continuously, even after you've created it. Okay? So now that I've clarified that, let me invite Jit to join us on stage. Please, everyone, welcome Chong Jit Leong, or Jit in short. Jit has made his living as a spectacular caricature artist who was working very hard to make ends meet. Eventually, opportunity came knocking, and he did not just answer the call, but he had pivoted and turned this opportunity into an online business, and that now gives him great residual income. Welcome to Cuppa with Michelle, Jit. Hi, Jit.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, everyone.
Oh, let me
Yeah,
just change our banner because I can't see us properly. There we go. Okay. All this technology, Jit. So, again, thank you for joining me. You are a very busy person, and I truly appreciate the time that you're spending with my audience.
welcome, Michelle. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah.
And just
Nice to
before we
meet
get
you.
started, Jit, I think we have a little bit of a delay. So at the end of my questions, I might just stop a bit. Jit is joining us all the way from Singapore, guys. So bear with us. Yeah, I seem to hear a bit of a delay. Um, but thank you again for joining us. And Jit, can you share with us your drink of choice? Mine is this Nespresso drink. What have you brought to Cuppa with Michelle?
My Kangen water. Yeah, I have been drinking for 11 years. I'm thirsty, yeah. Sometimes when I'm not thirsty, I
Awesome.
just like to sip a bit. Yeah.
That's right. So you've opted for the healthy drink. I've opted for, well, my relaxing drink. Okay, Jit, you have I was just sharing earlier that you have had an amazing career as a caricaturist. And would you be able to just share with our audience what your life was as a caricaturist, and the hours that you spent working, how the income was back then, and what was the line on the sand moment? When did you decide, I, not that you don't want to be a caricaturist because that was your passion, but when was the line on the sand moment where you decided, hold on, I need to do something else?
Sure. Okay. The story starts in 1994 when I was still studying architecture in National University of Singapore. And that year happened to be the second year of my architecture studies. And I saw a newspaper cutting on the advertisement to invite to engage a portrait artist uh, for a framing shop in Clarke Quay. And I went for a sort of interview by showing my portfolio. Okay, and I learned drawing skill through my self-taught, and they engaged me. Okay, long story short, so I started working, and it gave me pretty good income. What makes me stop pursuing further on my architectural studies. I got a general degree on architectural studies, and after that, I worked as from part-time to full-time artist in Clarke Quay. That gave me pretty good income. In Singapore context, that time when I first started, I made about $6,000 to $7,000. Is almost better than those architects who just started working as an architect. So, and I thought I have my time freedom. Okay, initially I said, I can choose my time to work on the things that I like instead of a bit dreadful, because in 3 years of architecture it was really dreadful, even though I quite enjoy the course, but it's just really long hours. I got to sacrifice sleep just to complete the projects. So when it comes to the drawing part, I thought I'm happy because drawing things has been always been my passion. So I draw the face I like when it's a hobby. Then over the time, I realized that when hobby turns into a job or work, it's not that much of enjoyment, because when people pay me, I got to draw. Unlike as a hobby, I choose the face that I like to draw. So nevertheless, I still can choose. Okay, and most I do take this job. So it has been ongoing until when the SARS came in 2003, that I got no business for 7 days in a row. And I never like to draw still life. There was an order that asked me to paint pineapple and apple, and then in acrylic style, that it was so stressful to me that I can't even choose because I need to pay for bills. Okay, so as the year goes by, even before SARS, I have been looking for passive income, because I realized that when the orders came in, I got to deliver it no matter what, and most of the time they want it fast, sometimes within hours or within like 20 days. So I got to sacrifice my sleep. And whenever, sometimes I plan for like I have a vacation and an order came in, I order like a group of people that need to be drawn, even for like Chinese New Year. I'm a Chinese, and I got to draw even during Chinese New Year. So I know that the moment my mom has been telling me, because she's a tailor and seamstress, and she told me that your job, your work is just like my work. The moment we stop working, our income stops. So over the years, I've been looking for uh, ways to make residual income, and I tried Google AdSense and like Soliday or whatever that can help me to duplicate myself. Even when I sleep, I can make money. It didn't materialize. So until I came across to this, someone introduced me to this platform, and I saw that they are paying quite well in terms of the compensation, the commission, and it is like direct selling. I'm paid for my own effort. So the harder I work, the more I work, I got paid first. So that I got no experience in this business, and I tried it and start the moment I start to see income coming in for my active effort. That's what called active income. Then after that, it starts to pay me leverage income, and I start to experience the benefits of leverage income. Whereby there was one time I got a job for drawing, and this job they came in the morning and they said I need to get it done by the next day. So within 24 hours, I got to finish it. So that job pays me about 1,300 plus Singapore dollars, and I spend from morning 10 a.m. until in the middle of night of 2 a.m. the next day. So I just go downstairs to have my lunch, then come back to work, and then dinner. I go down, I have my dinner, I come back and work. So when I finish it around 2 a.m., I was so tired, but I'm glad that I made 1,003. Guess what? The next morning I woke up, and one of my team members told me that, Jit, I got one sale. I said, wow. I was so happy because that sale is a indirect sale, is a leverage income that pays me about 1,328 Singapore dollars. I said, wow, that is almost equivalent to what I have done for the past one. I said, okay, I said, why am I doing this? Okay, but never mind. Then after that, he told me that, Jit, not one sale, total 3 sale. I look at it, it's like, what? Because of my past effort, I did a presentation for that thing, and it pays me 3 sales. And while I was sleeping, he did it. Then I tell myself, why am I working so hard for? Okay, but it didn't really wake me up again yet. Okay, and then I think about 1 to 2 years later, while I was engaged for a gig whereby we go and do live caricature sketching. Okay, so they pay me per hour. That time I charge $150 Singapore dollars per hour. So the job, they engage me for 4 hours. They pay me $600. So on my way to the gig, while I was driving, my team member called and text me. Some of them text me, some of them call me and said they have sale, they have sale. I said, wow, what happened today? How come I get so many indirect sales and commission, and we call it leverage income? Guess what? Before I even reach my destination to start my drawings, the gig, I roughly calculated I make $6,000 versus a $600. So during that gig, when I was first started drawing, I keep thinking, why am I doing this? Even though I love my drawing, but I'm really exchanging my time for money. And so that day I was really happy because I made $6,600 in total. But $6,000 really make me is the real happiness for making that money not due to my direct effort. And what makes me turn full time in this business was when about 2 years in this business, we need to declare income tax. So I declare income tax for my drawing business, which I spend full time doing it, and another portion is the income tax for this part-time business. Guess what? The income I get from this part-time business is almost 2 times of my full-time income as an artist. So total is like 1/3 versus 2/3. Add up is what? Wow, 6 figures. Okay, nice figures. That really shocked me. What if I spend more of my time from the full-time drawing as an artist on the part-time business? What will happen? And from there onwards, there's no return, no more return back to this full-time drawing as an artist. Now I draw for passion. I choose the job I like to draw. That is when I get the real happiness back to the days when I draw as a hobby.
Oh, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that story. That's an amazing story, Jit. And as I showed you guys earlier, Jit's caricature work is amazing. It's something that he always loved doing, something that, gave him happiness, but it deprived him of time freedom. And I guess, for a lot of us, Jit, that's really important, not to mention, how a pandemic affects you, how a major illness even in the family can affect you, right? So amazing to see that there were two basically um times in your life where you could have stopped and thought and pivoted and created something different, right? So SARS was the first, made you realize the weakness of what you had. And for a lot of us, it was, when COVID hit, because a lot of people lost their income during that time. So when you decided, or when you saw the opportunity, when you saw how residual income was happening, Jit, do you, has that made you believe in creating residual income? And do you think and do you believe that anyone can create residual income in their life?
Yes, I definitely believe in residual income, and I believe that everyone can do it, but sometimes they just didn't have the chance to come across to the platform that can help them to make passive income. So let's face it, most of us, I would say every one of us, are really hardworking. We spend out to make things work or make more money, but sometimes the platform it just doesn't help you to make more money in a much shorter time. I always like to tell people, many of us can make 1 million in a lifetime, right? Let's say you make 25,000 a year. In 40 years, we'll make 1 million. But in these 40 years, if you take 40 years to make 1 million, you have to spend a lot in these 40 years. That means that you don't have much left over, right? What if you can make 1 million in 10 years, or in 5 years, or in 3 years? But the amount of the expenses you're going to spend in these 3 years is a lot lesser compared to the income you make. In this case, 1 million. So you can have more to save up to give you peace of mind first. You don't have to make ends meet, right? So the platform to help you to make the kind of income, guilt free also must be guilt free. Okay, legal one really matters. That's why when I saw business, looking back, if you ask me today, 11 years ago, if I have a choice, will I take this chance to do this business again? I would say yes.
Awesome. That's amazing. I love that. I love how you've also shared that, it's not just any type of business that can give you good residual income, because a lot of other businesses require you to do so much more. That's right. And residual income, and the idea of residual income that we like, is one where you can be at ease with what you've invested in, have the fun, the freedom to actually just lay back for a while, or relax for a while when you want to go with your family on holidays. And the amount of expenses as well. I mean, you have built your business previously with a lot of other overheads, right? Your materials that you need for creating your caricatures. Um, I'm assuming that you probably had like a stand or something somewhere, or a booth somewhere to promote yourself. And I've done the same thing with my naturopathic practice. I had to always set up a clinic. I always had to buy my equipment. And there was always something that had to be paid for on a monthly basis. And that type of income, though you can grow it big, also has a lot of, provides a lot of more difficulties for you to enjoy on a month to month basis, because there's always something that has to be paid for. I love that. I love that. So you've been enjoying residual income now for quite a while. What would you say are the, I guess, top two things that have changed in your life because of that?
Top two things. Just now I
Like, or
mentioned
how
that
has it changed your life?
how does it change my life? I think especially so that was is many moments really that really I'm so happy that I have this residual income because especially during the COVID part whereby we are not allowed to actively go out and meet people, but income still keeps coming in, the passive income especially. So it really gives me the peace of mind. If I think back, if I didn't make the decision 11 years ago, I think I did even before COVID hits. Because the drawing business on my part is a declining trend, and less people are they want to have their caricature done. And the next thing is the app or the AI that can really replace me because most laymen cannot even tell the difference between a hand-drawn caricature versus a computer-generated. So it started way before, like where you saw a booth when you sit in, somebody do a sketch for you. Actually, it's in I know how to do it. I just put your photo in the Photoshop. I put in the filter. It's out done. But they just use the cursor to make you is that the cursor is a hand holding the pencil. It looks like it's really sketching like that, but sketching doesn't go like that. But layman doesn't know. That's why I start to think one day I will be replaced by AI. So before that happens, I know that I need to do something to myself. Okay, a bit side topic. Another one that wakes me up is because I have a caricaturist friend doing drawing, and he's about 6 to 7 years older than me. And one day when we went out to do the drawing, I saw him holding the photo like that with long-sighted specs. He looks like that. He look at the drawing like that, and then he used his hand to draw, and then I see his finger is shivering. I said, one day I will become like him. What if one day I can't draw? What can I do for a living? So I know that passive income is very important. One day, even before I cannot do drawing or before I get old, I need to set up this whole thing so that I can enjoy this residual income for myself, for my family, and for my next generations.
That's amazing, Jit. I love that. I mean, I didn't even get to think about that. I mean, a lot of us usually see just ourselves, where we're at, whether we're successful or not, as the basis for our future, right? Very few people actually look further ahead. And I'm glad you saw that whole AI thing, because I never imagined that would be possible. I mean, I'm so surprised that you've got all this app, the Cartoon Me app and stuff. You put your photo in, and then all of a sudden you've got a cartoon version of yourself. And you're right. The very first caricature ever done for me was with me walking somewhere. I think this was in the US. And I sat down in front of this caricaturist who designed me. But you don't need to do that anymore. And it's sad for people that have done that and feel like that's the only thing that they know. But I think the fact of the matter is, we are seeing more and more each day that there is no real career that's not eventually going to be replaced by, computers or AI or robots even. I mean, whoever saw that taxis would be replaced by Uber, for example, right? Whoever saw that when you go to groceries, that you could just swipe the um, the prices on your own, that you didn't need cashiers anymore. I never saw that, and it's so amazing because I go to this place that sells organic chicken eggs, and even with that, all they have, Jit, is like a room with all the eggs, and they've got the cash register, and you actually put it through yourself. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would never have imagined that, many years ago, that that would be possible. So slowly, a lot of these other jobs are disappearing, and opportunity is getting lost for people to actually make good income. And, like you and me, the only one that's going to be left is online, because online people will still need product, produce, and things that they need for themselves, and that's the only way that they'll start purchasing what they need. But an automation, a process, a how do you say it, the ability to create and pivot in your business so that you can build it once and continuously reap benefits from it is really an amazing benefit. It's also a really important art, I guess, right? Because not everyone can create it to be successful. Isn't that right?
Agreed, totally agreed.
Awesome. Well, Jit, this has been an amazing opportunity to just sit down with you, like literally sit down with you and have a cuppa. And thank you for sharing your experience with us, because I think more and more people need to see the value of reassessing where they're at, looking at whether or not their career, their job, their work will actually sustain their needs, their family's needs long term. Before we end the show, Jit, is there any last words that you'd like to share our audience?
Uh, Last word. I think making the right decision is very important, and we are the one who really take charge of our own life. Nobody pays for our bills. Okay, so uh, do something today which your future self will thank you for. So when you have somebody presented something that can help you change your life financially or physically, yeah, really take a look at this first before you jump to conclusion that this is not for me. Think of it. If nothing is changed today, what will happen 10 years down the road? But what if you make the right change? The miracle can happen. It can happen to me, can Michelle, happen to Michelle, it can happen to you too. Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jit. And guys, thanks again for joining us. If you join us later on the replay, please do send us a hashtag replay. If you've got any questions, type it up under the video and I'll attempt to answer it next time. And perhaps, Jit, we can invite you once again when, especially if people have lots of questions for you.
definitely. Sure. Just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.